Hello, everybody. Just gonna take a beat here and make sure that everybody can actually hear me and it's not just in my head. Okay, come on. Somebody tell me you can hear me. I always get so nervous. Like, I've had these weird microphone issues that are not really issues. It's just me not having my settings correct. So it looks like you guys can hear me, and I'm gonna go ahead and jump into it. Holy cow. Um, okay, so some of you know I have like some personal stuff going on in the background of my life, and I've been away for a minute because it's been a lot. But I mean, not bad stuff, good stuff. But it's just a lot to take care of, and I'm working on it still. I have some big things coming ahead, and I'm excited for that. And I need to, work on this channel more, and I'm going to be able to do that. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited for several reasons, but I'm excited about that. And plus, it was like for the last 2 days here, it's been above 10 degrees. It's actually even been a little warmer. When I went to the pharmacy earlier today, it was 29 outside, and I actually contemplated whether or not I would start my car and warm it up. Like, did I need to really? Because that just felt like warm, too warm to warrant restarting the car and letting it warm up. Everybody who lives in this climate would understand what I'm saying, but I did warm it up, and that's good. So yeah, Amy says hey, she had to turn on her AC today. I don't know where you live, but I hope that's not a dig. No, I'm joking. I'm not comfortable in hot weather, so it doesn't bother me as much. But yeah, I'm. It helps my pain. Is my whole point. It helps my pain when I am in a warmer climate, even if it is just a few degrees warmer. I need to do one thing real quick here. I need to add Lauren as a moderator. Okay. Welcome, whether you like it or not. So, anyway, I wanted to have a super great plan for this, but I don't have a super great plan for this. I do have somebody else's notes pulled up, and I want to go over a couple things. One, we will talk about what happened in the probate on another night. The short, TLDR is that the probate case was dismissed, and yeah, I, I approve. Everyone here who hates bacon is banned. I approve. Sorry. And everyone named Bruce. Mods can fight with each other. That's fine too. Yeah. So anyway, the probate case, basically, like I said, the long and short of it is that it got dismissed because she didn't have a case. And that part's beautiful. We all knew she didn't have a case, but it was really cool to see that the judge agreed with that information that we believed to be true. So, yeah, you can't file a lawsuit against a trust. I mean, you can, but you can't bring a trust issue into a probate case, typically. Please, for the love of God, nobody try to correct me on that. I know that there are situations and outliers where that applies. I get it. But in that situation, it didn't apply. So we don't have to listen to Jan go on and on about that in filings anymore. But we are going to be discussing it a little more in depth later, and we got some good stuff coming on that. So I say we, because it's a team, it's a group of people that help, and I appreciate that very much. I don't try to speak on their behalf, but I do appreciate what they contribute, and I respect that a lot of people don't want to be in the spotlight about it. So, anyway, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Ron and Jan's case getting dismissed, although I'm pretty much a nothing burger for now until more stuff starts popping off, which I think it will. And the last time, did I do a stream about it? Yeah, I did. When Terry Dake came in, that was the last stream I did about Laura's bankruptcy. Because it was exciting, because he filed in both cases an appearance, which was beautiful. And then we saw Jennifer G, Queen Jennifer, our new hero, the hero we needed in this moment, in this case. I can't enough express how incredible it was to watch somebody cook in that hearing the way she did. So I will reveal something about myself. When it comes to nerdy things, I'm a little bit of a snob about it, I guess. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm making connections on things and people are not connecting them elsewhere. And I think Sour Doreen understands what I'm saying, because, like, the horses being transferred from Laura's name into Quartet Farms almost immediately after the judgment for Clayton went through. You feel like we're all catching these things that are clearly, like, maybe separate, not a big deal, but when you put them together, they're a big deal. And then you see somebody who takes that information and not only, like, I screamed. Okay, so I drove to my PT appointment, which is almost an hour away, and I had the hearing on in my car, and I must have looked like an absolute maniac, because the number of times I screamed when she said something, I blacked out, I think. I mean, I was driving, so don't judge me, but it was incredible, guys. If you got to hear it, we are waiting on the audio. So here's the deal. With Ron and Jan's first hearing, technically their second hearing, because their first hearing was a dud. With their hearing that they did, it took a while to get the audio. I don't know why. I think the court just works how it works. And sometimes things are quick and sometimes they're not. And I went offline for a second to get ready for this. I don't think it came out in the meantime, but I just read Lauren's comment. Sorry, I got distracted. Someone at a stoplight probably thought Tip was a fucking lunatic. Okay, well, in the area I was driving, I probably actually looked normal. So sorry. Anyway, so I totally forgot my train of thought. Anyway, we don't have the audio. We don't have the audio yet, right? And so you have to kind of, it's one of those things where you have to kind of like retain everything as it's happening. But again, as you're hearing it, you almost don't believe you're hearing it. So are you processing it? I don't know. I'm going to go off of somebody else's notes mostly when I talk about it tonight, because it was so fantastic. It was almost unbelievable. Like she went right out of the gate with, the testimony in the deposition of the Eckerd case. And I just was floored that was being asked, and that it was being asked so directly. So again, the things that we've seen, we saw them in Ron and Jan's filings, right? Errors. We'll call them mistakes for now. Mistakes. Inaccuracies. Inconsistencies. We saw all of that stuff in Ron and Jan's case, and I am telling you, and I'm going to guess Sour Doreen is going to back me up on this, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to see anything done about it, right? They'll get a chance to correct the really egregious stuff. They'll correct it, or they won't, and it'll get dismissed. And then you move, like, the case just proceeds forward. Nothing really, a lot of times justice doesn't happen. It just doesn't. Like, the law doesn't always function the way it's designed to. And so it's frustrating to watch that happen over and over and over again, like we have, and then see somebody swoop in. And I'm telling you, I couldn't have done a better job myself. I don't know that any one of us could have done a better job ourselves of asking those questions that we've memorized over the period of over 2 years now, right? Like, we know these things inside and out. That woman stepped in, and like, she's been here since day one. And I'm not accusing her of being JFC, because that's not the case. She's incredibly intelligent. She's incredibly talented at what she does for a living. And that was very clear when we heard her and watched her on that meeting that day. She's got some high profile cases that she's worked on, and you can see why she has the name she does, and why she has the respect in the community that I believe she does. From the articles I read about her, from the cases I've looked at, it's impressive. Again, that's not always something to get super excited about, because that doesn't always mean that things are going to pop off. But whoa, did they pop off? Yeah, so as Salvadorian said, they mostly get away with shit. And yeah, okay, sorry, I'm supposed to say the comments out loud. I remember somebody asking me, and I will. So Salvadorian says, they mostly get away with shit, definitely given chances to correct, but most people aren't so blatantly lying on the record. Laura's a special kind of stupid. I don't disagree with that. It's weird. It's just weird. Yeah. Lauren, yeah, but how many retired horses does Jennifer even have? And are they over 20 years old? Because it doesn't matter if they're not. Like, insanity. So yeah, and here's here's the deal. I want to respect our Queen Jennifer as much as possible, because I appreciate what she did, and I appreciate where I believe, based on what I witnessed, where we're headed. So I don't want to go full in on who is she and what she does, but like I said, I think she's a pretty decent badass, and very good at what she does. And that was evident in how she conducted herself, and how she conducted that hearing, and how she forced the progression. Like, we didn't slow down. We didn't get caught up in things that didn't need to be caught up in, right? It was just, okay, we'll wait until a deposition to sort that out then, right? But I'm giving you a chance now to fix these things. So let's, yeah, okay. Yay, I appreciate the comment reading, Tiff. I'm cooking dinner and you're on half my phone screen along with my recipe. Oh my gosh, well, that's amazing. I can't do that. And I do spend some time, sometimes I'm listening to a video in the kitchen too. So I understand it. I'm just not so great at saying stuff out loud. So let's get to it here. I am going to give me un momento. Oh, hi. Well, I almost closed StreamYard. That would have been fun. Let me get to what I want to share. So now let me just figure out how to share it the way I want to share it. Okay, well, or not. What did I do? Where did I lose it? There we go. Okay, hold on. I gotta present. It's been a minute, you can tell. Holy cow. I'm totally unprofessional now. That's not what I want to share, though. Did I really just lose it? Oh my God, you guys. Hello, wake me up. Oof. Hold on. I really messed it up here. Why won't it let me share that page? Probably because it's under a different browser. I did that for a reason. Well, hold on. Un momento. Share screen. Window. Oh, there we go. Share. There we go. That's it. Now I just have to figure out how to go back to. Did it go away when I did that? Okay, hold on, guys. We're gonna do it together here. That's what she said. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can get this larger. Oh, cool. I don't think I knew I could do that before. I love it still, but it's better than nothing. Let's see if we can make it. Okay. Bigger. No, that doesn't work. Okay, we're just going to try it like this. Can you guys see? I can't see it very well. I'm blind as a bat lately. I swear I'm not recovering from being on those steroids very well. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through it real quick here. So this person, oh, I'm sorry. Shout out to the Redditor that I don't know how to say it. Basilika? I don't know. Basilisha? I'm totally butchering that. But anywho, there was a Redditor that made really good notes. And I'm going to go ahead and go off of this. So it just kind of goes first through like who's there, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. Laura's wearing that bodysuit again, I think. Anyway, so right away, so this person says judge, but it was actually the trustee that was running the hearing. And so I'm going to try to remember to replace the word judge with trustee. It's a technicality, but my brain glitches on technicalities. So I'm going to try to make sure I say it correctly. But anyway, the trustee swore her in and then asked. He actually started the meeting early without putting the video on, and then he realized he didn't like start his recording, so he had to start all over, which I get because he was definitely anxious about the number of people that were in, and I think it's just because he doesn't see that very often, right? Like that's just not a thing that happens to him often. So I can totally understand it. But anyway, so he swore her in and then he asked her, do you understand the importance of the oath they just took? And so I wanted to make this a drinking game, but I am allergic to everything except for tequila. And Cat Lady said I wasn't allowed to drink tequila because I'm too old for that. No, she said it's not what she said, but I really shouldn't drink tequila tonight. So yeah, the number of times that they referenced her oath and referenced the importance of an oath and the possibility of perjury was notable. Let's just say that. Yeah, I mean, as Lauren says, what if you put the tequila in something else? I mean, it's fine as long as it's not other alcohol, because I'll die over that. But Cat Lady Ballerina says, I was just looking out for you, boo. And that is 100% true. I should not be drinking alcohol on a work night. But I am really not, I'm really not great at being drunk anyway. So, and you wouldn't want that. But anyway, so we get through like the mechanics of it. And right away, he asks her about transfers. And again, please forgive me because I was blacking out during a lot of this because it was awesome. But he was asking her specifically about transfers of anything. And I think that's important because I know there's concern that that maybe they don't know what they're supposed to know, right? And I think the way he phrased the question is important because I think he does know what we want him to know. And so, Sorry, Lauren. This is not fair. Lauren keeps distracting me. Lauren says, quote, I'm not really good at being drunk, end quote, says the lady who screams in her car while sober. Show us, prove it. One night, I promise I will, okay? Okay, so anyway, sorry. The importance, like I said, of that question to me was a big deal because we know that there has been a transfer of horses. We know that there has been a transfer of businesses, I think. Well, I know she did Liz Max over to Jan like right after they like literally the day she bought the Airbnb. She transferred or she added Jan to Liz Max. And then the stop it, Lauren. The transfer out of her name, she attempted to backdate, but she did that. I think she filed it in March and tried to backdate it. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Of 25, she filed it. But anyway, so there were transfers of a businesses out of her name. There were transfers of horses. There was confusion in the first meeting of creditors because I think Marcus thought that she had transferred Quartet Farms out of her name, but nothing indicates that. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Nothing at the state records office indicates that she has transferred Quartet out of her name. So we don't know. But we don't know if that was done behind the scenes, but it still has to be filed in order to be effective. So like everything else, she'll probably try to change it after the fact and make it fit her story. However, we also know that she's been active in Quartet Farms. Not just the face of it. Active. Posting, selling and leasing horses, like a full-blown part of it. So good luck with saying no to that question because she did say no. She said no. And I'm sorry, she did admit though to transferring Liz Max out of her name. But it was funny because she also said that she actually never had a part of it. She was never involved in it, which is super interesting being that she's the one that filed the incorporation papers and that that Jan put the money down for the house and Jan was involved in all of that. Laura has nothing to do with it. Besides the fact that she signed the agreement to purchase the Airbnb, bad agreement or not, she's the one that signed it as the member of Liz Max, and she was the sole member that day. So stupid. Anyway, and then we've got like I said, his questions were pretty quick. I am blacking out on what else he may have asked, to be honest, because the star of the show again was Miss Jamo. And I loved it because she did call him green grass or green gas. In my head, it was green grass. And that's how I keep repeating it, even though that's not what it was. So anyway, the real show started when Miss Giamo came in, and she made it clear out the gate that she was excluding Ding Dong from the hearing, like from this part of it, because she asked Laura if, and maybe, God, was it Eric that asked? Anyway, maybe it was Eric that asked, but the clarification was made that Gingras only represents Laura on the adversary case, and she's the one that said the adversary case. Like, she acts like she doesn't know what's going on, but she does know what's going on. So, Okay, wait, I'm going to get the list. Sour Doreen says GIMO. GIMO. Okay, yeah, duh. Please don't tell my husband's entire Italian family that I did not know how to say it. So there we go. Anyway, that was important for a reason. So she says that they didn't get the 2024 tax returns, but they did get the 23 or vice versa. I can't remember now. And she said she sent them both, or her attorney sent them both, and it was Terry or Eric that asked that, I think. And I'm so sorry, guys. And anyway, supposedly it's paperwork error, of course, and that information is going to get right over to them right away because they should have had it already. She did ask, Queen Jennifer did ask that Laura agree to allow the trustee to include her on any information that was received. So if Queen Jennifer asks for any information from the trustee, Laura gave her approval to let him turn it over. Now, there are other ways to go about that. So if she would have said no, they would have just gotten, gone through the official channels, but they've got her on the record saying that she was okay with it. So that happened at the beginning and at the end of the meeting, just to be clear, so that everybody could be included. And one more thing to note. So Queen Jennifer is actually part of the Department of Justice. And my heart skips a beat when I hear that, because they don't just get involved and start asking questions on a case for no good reason, right? It's a big deal. And so things are happening, guys. Good things are happening. A lot of hard work has gone into uncovering things that were previously, I wouldn't say hidden, but they were out there to be found, but they were, I don't know. I think that the Owens family has used their privilege to cover things up, so to speak. And that privilege is not gonna fly anymore, right? It's not gonna get them as far as they think it is. So anyway, so yeah, she asked. So okay, Laura in her corrections. So this is where Jennifer starts off, right? And I'm not trying to disrespect her by saying Jennifer or Queen Jennifer even, but it's easier to say that than GIMO. It just is. I'm sorry. And my brain doesn't always work, and I know I can say Jennifer. Now watch me screw that one up. But anyway, she went right in about the tax returns, because Laura said in her income, even in her corrected income statements that she filed, that zero income for 23, 24, and 25, right? And 25 only covers up to December 8th, the day of our filing, but it's most of 25. So it's kind of beautiful that she did file on before the first of the year, because if she had filed at the first of the year, we'd only be looking at 24, 25, and part of 26. Anyway, so she had filed on her amended return or amended application forms that she had expected an $891 tax refund for 2025. This says 2025, but I don't think that's what she meant. I think it was for 24 based on the conversation Laura had, or even 23. I don't know, to be honest. But because Laura later in the conversation stated that she did her taxes through Credit Karma, which I think she means TurboTax, because I'm pretty sure TurboTax is partnered with Credit Karma. I've seen the ad when I log in. I didn't use it, but I've seen the ad. So I think you actually end up working it through TurboTax. But she said she filed them through Credit Karma, and that it came up with $891, but she didn't ever get the money, so she figured that she wasn't supposed to. And that froze my brain for a minute because you can't do like that. That's not okay. I've posted this meme so many times. I'm sure people are sick of it, but like the commercial with the ladies about this isn't how any of this works, because that's not how it works. Like if you file an improper tax return, they'll send you a letter about it and you have to fix it. And or you have to explain why you do deserve that return. Like you have to provide receipts. Like it's not just, oh, I thought I was going to get a refund and I didn't, so I just let it go. Like that's just not even close to how it works. And I guess maybe somebody who's never had to file real income taxes in their life wouldn't understand that, but yeah, it's interesting to me. Okay, so TX Packet says Credit Karma and TurboTax are both owned by Intuit. So yeah, that makes sense. And I thought they were, because everything has to be a monopoly. But I'm sure there's a Rocket Mortgage version of all of it too. But anyway, they 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 don't, Texas just don't work that way. It's not just, oh, I'm gonna try for $891, and if I don't get anything, then well, like that's just not how filing taxes works. So anyway, I won't get hung up on things that bother me like that, but it does. She asked Laura if there was a CPA assisting her with her returns, and of course the answer was no. and then and then she comes in with like literally the jugular, like beautiful. Okay. Sorry, I'm actually drinking, which is the worst thing I could be drinking, but I'm having it. She asks about the cherry tech debt and if it was related to Inova Med Spa. And if you've been following the criminal case, that is a bombshell question. Because as we saw in the investigative report, Inova Med Spa, it's redacted a lot, but there was a lot going on with Inova Med Spa, and it's very important that if Cherry Tech was part of that, that it is another debt that could likely not be discharged if it's related to a fraud case. So, and these are, again, I didn't say it at the beginning. Number one, get a library card. Number two, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an accountant. Nothing. I am a person with opinions and spitting them out into the interwebs. But yeah, the I think that might have been the first scream where I screamed. And then we're talking about the zero income, and second scream, I think, was when she asked Laura how old she was. I know you guys know this moment, but like, and Laura says 35, and she said, and you've never had a job? and Queen Jennifer has this accent that just made it such a beautiful question. I cannot wait for the audio to drop, guys, because it's beautiful. But yeah, it it was a pretty good question. Like it's a question we've all asked ourselves, and I want to say I think it's especially important because we've got a couple of parents here who have reached out to their fan base of, I'm going to say mostly retired people, right? I'm sure it's an older fan base, and I think that, possibly limited income fan base. And that fan base has funded, I think we're over 142,000. It might even be higher now. I don't look because it irritates me, but we've got a GoFundMe that has a sizable donation amount. And Laura's nonchalance in this meeting about, I don't have a job. you know, my parents support me. It was frustrating, to say the least. I mean, there's no reason that this should be happening. And I'm not typically the kind of person to say that stuff, because whatever people do in their own house, I don't care. But when you start spinning a story the way that they have, the insanity of saying we're so, desperate because of this illness, it's not true. We have the possibility that they've paid for a lot of attorneys, which I think is more than likely now. And then we have all of this med spas, and she said she gets Botox all the time. Like, she's trying to say that she spent money at yeah, hashtag buzz babe bitch. She said that she didn't spend that money at Inova on anything but HCG and cool sculpting, which for several reasons are both inappropriate things. But anyway, that's disturbing if you have a parent who is supporting you financially and unable to pay their medical bills. If you buy into the story that that's the case. I don't think it is, based on what we've seen, but yeah. Bruce, instructions on clear antlers stuck in cool sculpting machine. Nice. I mean, dude, I would like some stuff to straighten out what's going on under my neck here. I'm at the age for it. I definitely wasn't at 35, but whatever. Okay, so, oh, yeah, let's go back a second. So we're talking about zero income, and she's never had a paying job, and she's supported by her family. Asks about being the owner of 4 entities. She lists them out. So it was Quartet, Liz Max. No, not Nobody Told Me. Quartet, Liz Max, Stylette, I keep saying Stylete, which I don't think it's spelled properly for Stylete, but anyway. What's the 4th one? Holy cow. Don't make me look at the document. Somebody say it. It wasn't Nobody Told Me. It was Quartet, Liz Max. Oh wait, sorry, I'm gonna go back for 1 second, because I did see, let me go back a second. So, that's not what I meant. Yeah. Discord is a good way to contact me, and my name is the same on Discord as it is everywhere else. So, but okay, Keybacker. Oh my god. You guys, how did I forget Keybacker? Ring, SEC. Okay, anyway. Keybacker, see? My brain's not firing today. And some people from Discord are aware of that, I'm sure. My brain's not firing today. I had to go to the pharmacy. It was a whole ordeal. Anyway, the 4 entities. Okay, so they ask about whether or not they're still in operation or whatever. And then so this is where Laura trips herself up, because she says, David, please answer this. And right out the gate, Queen Jennifer says, nope. Actually, he isn't your lawyer in the bankruptcy case, so he's not going to be stepping in on this. Like, it was beautiful, and I feel like we saw his heart break a little bit. But yeah, you can't have it both ways, right? Like, if he's helping you in the bankruptcy case, then he has to disclose that. You have to disclose that, and it has to be, he has to be your attorney of record. So yeah, it was pretty beautiful when it was like, nope, shut it down, not happening. So, like, that's what I'm saying, where I appreciated it and I respected it, because it kept, like, I watch a lot of court on YouTube. I think a lot of people here do too. And you see situations where things are just they let it slide. And she was not about that life. Like, nope, that's not the way it works. We're not doing it that way. And Now, she said, Laura said that she thought that she was the manager of these companies, that she wasn't the owner. And then again, she, Queen Jennifer says, well, you checked off that you were partial owner of these entities, right? And then she read the question, and I don't have it in front of me, but she read the question out loud again and emphasized the penalty, which was beautiful. And Laura said she was confused. And then right away we go in with the LinkedIn. Queen Jennifer says, your LinkedIn says that you're the owner of Quartet Farms. And she was making sure she was pronouncing it correctly and whatnot. But yeah, you hold yourself as the owner operator of Quartet Farms. So like basically the gist of this line of questioning was, if you don't have any income, then how? Basically. How? Right? Like how do you claim no income, but you also claim that you're operating these companies? Active or not, at some point in the last several years, you were part of them. And where's the money coming from, basically? Like to run these companies. That's important. So she was saying that she was just the face of the company. And that she thank you for this. So Doreen says she just markets herself as an entrepreneur. She didn't murder somebody. It's funny because we didn't see any shenanigans from Laura in this hearing. I think that there was very much an awareness of the seriousness. And I liked that. I liked seeing her have to reel it in. I liked that it was probably uncomfortable. That's just how I feel, because I think that she doesn't get held accountable very often. And this was definitely that. So yeah, she said she she is just the face of the company. And again, Queen Jennifer stresses the penalty of perjury, right? Like, this is something you have to state honestly when you're filing these documents. And if we backtrack for a second to the origin of this, we believe was an attempt to get out of paying Clayton or Greg, however you want to look at it, Woodnick, their judgment money, right? It was probably a panic move, but it was a move nonetheless. And in my opinion, not a great move. But and this is why, because now you're in federal court. Welcome to the big show, ding dong. So she asks her again, you've never earned your own income ever. And then Laura starts to kind of go into how her bills get paid. This is where we hear this part, right? That she is being supported by her parents. They pay all of her bills. And it's really important here. And again, I can't wait for the audio to come out, because it's important the way Laura answered these questions, and that she stated on the record under penalty of perjury that her parents pay her bills in exchange for work that she does in their companies. And guess what, princess? That's income. Like, that's income. Like, that's a definition of income. So there's a lot of rules about stuff like this, and you can't do that and not disclose it, right? Even if, let's pretend it's not taxable income for a minute. Let's just pretend it's all not taxable. It's income in terms of disclosing it to the federal government when you are claiming bankruptcy, when you're applying for bankruptcy. So yeah, it was pretty pretty big moment. And then, Queen Jennifer asked her if they paid her car bill. And of course, Laura can't answer a question straightly, right? Her car note, I mean. So Laura says, well, we share a car. And that's not the question she asked. Question was, do they pay your car payment? And then she realizes she has to answer. So she said yes. And and then she said, what about car insurance? And Laura says yes. And those are two very important questions as well, or answers as well, because we did not see those things necessarily, at least outright disclosed on Ron and Jan's bankruptcy, right? So listen, there's serious collusion going on here, in my opinion, between these people who have all filed bankruptcy and are all trying to get out of paying their creditors by playing this shell game of who pays for what and who owns this and how certain family members earn income and how others don't. Like Laura flat out said, her parents pay for her food, her housing, and everything else. She does not make any money. And Queen Jennifer went pretty hard on, I think it was 2023 income. And my belief is the reason that she did that was that I think that I don't remember the name of the contracting company. Oh my gosh, the contractor. I don't want to say his name because I try not to like re-victimize people, but the contractor, I believe that there was I don't believe there was a garnishment. Like she got paid, and I believe it was it was over 26,000 because the judgment was 26 plus, or the garnishment was 26 plus the attorney's fees were 2,900, I guess, or something close to it. So she got maybe $30,000, maybe more. But we know, at least according to the court register, that was at least what she got. And I have a feeling it was paid to her. Maybe it was paid to both of them. Who knows? It could have been a check to both of them, but regardless, that was income that she should have reported in her bankruptcy, even if it's not taxable income. And so in most cases, judgment money is not taxable income. I know that only because of I had a family member who had a wrongful death case, and they had a settlement, and it wasn't it was an insurance payout and a judgment settlement. There were two of them, and they weren't taxable. So, but they would have had to report it if they filed bankruptcy, right? You have to report money that you've had in your possession. So that'll be interesting. She also asked about gifts really quickly and glossed over that. I think every question was with intent. There was intention behind every question. So, yeah, where'd it go? The comment is, it's also incestuous and commingled, and that is how I have been describing it for a very long time. Financial incest. It's so outrageous here. But yeah, it's just wild. So anyway, sorry, lost my spot. I'm trying to do both things here. Not always easy to keep track of comments and where I'm at. So yeah, Queen Jennifer goes on about income, and this was, like I said, hammered home a bit, and it was interesting that was specifically discussed. And then she went in again for like literally 1-2 punch with the deposition question. That in her March 1st deposition, Laura claimed that the podcast earned $83,000, and that apparently that is what Laura stated in her deposition on March 1st, that we do not have, right? Like, this is not information we have. So Laura says, she kind of skirts the answer a minute, and then like Jennifer just hammers her, is like, just answer the question. Is that what you stated? And Laura's like, yeah, but I like didn't. Basically, Laura's like, but I didn't like get that money. Like, she didn't actually earn any of it. So again, we're admitting things by trying to avoid admitting things, okay? Because you cannot have, like your job, for example. Your employer can't just hold on to your money, the earnings you make, pay your bills out of it, and everybody avoids taxes by doing that. Like that, for either party, that's not okay. I do believe that Nobody Told Me is reported under Jan's personal Social Security number. I know Quartet has its own tax ID number, but she did state that Quartet file Schedule C, which means they file it under their personal taxes. I don't know if they're technically allowed to do that since Laura's part of the company there, but that's for bigger brains than mine to figure out. Anyway, well, I guess we'll see. But the questions keep coming about the business. And, again, she holds herself out as owner. She doesn't understand. Oh, yeah. Queen Jennifer says, so you lied on your LinkedIn? And this was a fun moment only because we really saw her pressure Laura into an answer that she didn't want to give. And the answer was, I'll change my LinkedIn, which I believe somebody checked today and still hasn't been done. So, like, at every opportunity, we don't actually fix things that we claim to be mistakes. Anyway, so then she asks about Quartet, because apparently also in the deposition, Laura said that Quartet Farms made $144,000 in 2023, and that Laura should have been entitled to at least part of it. And that's when the tears start, right? I don't understand. I'm just the face of the company for my family. I just don't understand any of this. It's just, I'm so innocent. I don't get it. Sure. And then in front of a judge in June of 2024, you stated that you testified that you were making $200,000 a year. Was that truthful? And that's when I've been quoting it probably wrong, but I've been saying I remember it as, I feel like I don't want to answer these questions anymore because I'm answering them incorrectly. I'm positive that's not how it was said, but that's how my brain remembers it. And so I feel like I don't want to answer these questions anymore. So Nori says, I recall that too. Probably because I've said it a lot, because I'm not sure. Maybe it is. But I don't doubt that my brain also got it wrong, because it's possible. And she says she wants to speak to an attorney. And again, we see Giamo doesn't skip a beat. Well, did you testify to that, right? Like, I'm just, and then she says, I'm just asking questions, basically. There is no wrong way to answer. You just have to be truthful. Awesome moment. There's no wrong answer here. Just be honest. Like, but you can't be honest when you've told 14 different stories and you can't keep them straight because maybe you don't have your spreadsheet up in front of you, right? So then she asks if the LLCs are still operating. Are you still working for Quartet? Well, yeah, but nothing's happening there. Like, she doesn't, again, I don't even think she said yeah, she said nothing's really happening there. Like, she can't answer the question honestly. And then, oh wow, I don't know if you guys could hear that, but there's sirens outside. And then Laura states, that's when Laura states that the Quartet files their taxes, like Ron and Jan file their taxes under Schedule C for Quartet. And that the last one she saw, I think she said the last one she saw was 2022. It doesn't surprise me that they may not have filed 23 and 24, or that they didn't include Quartet. I don't know. There's a lot of things that we have discovered. There is still a lot of information that we don't know, right? And how they filed their taxes, we don't know. So then another beautiful moment. Queen Jennifer asks, you testified that you had over $400,000 cash in a checking account. And Laura says that was a misunderstanding. And Jennifer asks, do you know this person? I'm not going to say their full name. And Laura says no. And then she realizes that no isn't the right answer. And she backtracks and says that was an investor's. That wasn't, she had an investor, and Clayton knew. Her first response is always, Clayton knew. Clayton knew. Doesn't matter if Clayton knew, because you signed an affidavit saying it was your money. But anyway, so Jamo says, in the affidavit you signed, under penalty of perjury, oh, sorry, back up a second. So Laura starts to try to explain, saying that the money was a guy, it was the bank statement of this one guy's, her investor's mother-in-law, which doesn't, okay, backtrack, because she did mention the Morby method. And let me just tell you, and I know Salvadorine will back me up on this, like, and many people will, that's not how it works, okay? First of all, the Morby method is dumb. I don't care. Come after me. It's dumb. It's not 99.8% of the time not a good move. Like, because it's designed to target people who don't have money, who shouldn't maybe be buying a house anyway, to buy a house and use it as an investment property, right? Like, we don't even own our own house at this point. We're just being an investor. And exactly, Bruce. So Bruce says nobody asked her what Clayton knew. She's always trying to manipulate the situation by answering the question that wasn't asked of her. Yes, exactly. 80% at least of that entire hearing was her answering a question that she wasn't asked. So anyway, so whose 450,000 was this again? Right, that's the thing. So apparently it was the investor's mother-in-law's money, which forgetting the fact that that's not the Morby method and how it works, like, you don't use money that way, and it's illegal to use money that way. It's not how it works. I can't say it any other way. So anyway, okay. So Queen Jennifer says, there's an affidavit you filed that you signed under oath stating that I had that money in my checking account. I had cash in my checking account, I think is how she worded it. And Laura tries to get David to, and David can clear that up. David knows, and Clayton knows. And so Jennifer was like, was that a false statement? Because you provided a statement. And then again, that's when Laura tried to elaborate a little bit. And then Laura starts to go into David, and so Jennifer says, you signed it. You signed the affidavit. And that's where Laura throws Ding Dong under the bus, saying that she didn't prepare it, and that actually David signed it for her. It wasn't digitally signed in that sense. There are PDF programs, I use one in my job, that you can use to attach a regular signature that doesn't have all of the metadata attached to it, certifying it. You can use that. The reason you wouldn't use that in a court affidavit, you wouldn't use the metadata that would attach to that type of signature that you're attaching, is that it's not the legal way to do it. It needs to look like an actual signature. And so I have screenshots of her two signatures, one on her bankruptcy and one on that affidavit. They're identical. They're identical. I review signatures for a living. They're identical. I can show you guys if I can get them pulled up in a second here, but they're the same signature. She probably did have a PDF image attached to that document. It doesn't mean anything because she authorized him to sign it. So we try to blame Ding Dong. And basically Queen Jennifer says, okay, fine. Even if that's the case, you authorized it to be signed. And again, we see this. We're not letting up on the fact, like, we're not letting you get away on not answering this, and really like forces an answer out of Laura to say, yes, she authorized it to be signed. And it's kind of in a like a, oh yes, fine, I'll admit it way, but that doesn't matter. Like, if it's not true, then don't answer that it is, right? But it is true. Because we also know that Laura made those same statements in her blogs. She made statements like that elsewhere, that money was hers, that she was the one putting things up, regardless of what Clayton knew with his 2-month real estate license. Like, oh, I'm sorry, he didn't know that you were totally scamming him. What? Like, anyway, I don't put it on Clayton. I really don't. Put it on his broker a little bit, but I also see how in the timeline of how things happened, maybe they didn't have a chance to like go through this with him and explain that's not how it works. And oh yeah, back up. Okay, two things. Where'd it go? I saw you in here. Hold on. Wow, you guys are active. Okay, where'd it go? Oh, I just saw it. Where'd it go? Hold on a second, guys. Oh, Tiff, I will send you a side-by-side of the signatures. Thank you. I have one. I didn't like overlay them or put it side by side necessarily, so I don't have a great one. Thank you. I just have snippets. But they're the same, like I said. And yeah. So Sour Doreen says David twitched so hard and he was nodding in agreement with her. And he's 100% falling on the sword for her. And they were both 100% lying. Yeah, I mean, he has also, yes. Also, hello, Patrick. Sorry. The way that all went down seemed planned, but oh no. Sorry, I'm jumping around. So the question is, wait, David signed the affidavit to purchase the rental property. Question mark. DG was around when Laura was house shopping, question mark. No, she said that he signed the affidavit in the Clayton Eckerd case that Laura filed right before, or Gingras, whatever, Laura, because she's the petitioner, filed right before the hearing, that was basically like, here's a statement of facts of the case, right? Like, it's you saying, here's everything I have to say about my side of things. And Laura laid it all out with screenshots and everything. Like, this is everything that happened. And part of that was, for whatever reason, about Clayton and these real estate deals that have nothing to do with a paternity case. But regardless. So the the affidavit was, the conversation about the affidavit was, I feel like Jennifer now, because I'm like, I don't want to go too much into it because it's really going to be beautiful when you guys listen, but it was an interesting conversation. So anyway, then Jennifer asked about the Michael Maricini case and the status of it because it was mentioned in Laura's filings. My dog is yakking in the background. That's beautiful. Oh, yay. We're going to go down here for a second. Watch me not find it, but I'm going to try to find it. The Michael Maricini case, she was asking if Laura had filed the appeal, and Laura said yes, but here, we're going to just remove this for a second so I can actually look for it without being a weirdo. Laura said yes, and then Jennifer asked her, how did she have the money to file for the appeal? And then we hear another inconsistency that does not match the record that we know, where she says that she okay, I thought I had the wrong glasses on for a second, where she said that all her fees were waived. Like, okay, sure, whatever. Hold on a minute, guys. I'm going to try to find, what if I refresh? I'm going to try to find that signature side by side because I can tell you all the reasons I believe it's the same signature. But it doesn't help her if it does. It definitely hurts Ding Dong because he shouldn't be doing that. Like, I equate it to I do real estate transactions for a living, right? And there are legal documents that people sign in a transaction. And so as a professional, as a licensed professional, it is my duty to make sure that the transactions are handled legally and professionally, right? So I'm not supposed to be just slapping somebody's digital signature onto a document that, like a deed, or a closing statement, because it should be signed by the person that is involved in that transaction. And if it's an affidavit of your side of the story, it should definitely be signed by you. So yeah, that just doesn't make any sense. Okay. I'm super dumb about Reddit. I know there's a way to search. Oops. And, oh, comments. Here we go. Okay, why can't we just do by new? Haha. Let's see. Don't see it. Okay, I'm going to come back to that because I don't want to keep you guys. I'll just show you it this way. Hold on. I'm trying not to have silence here. Oh. And then, okay. I can do it like this. Okay, let's do it this way. Add to stage. Okay, so the signature on the affidavit looks like this. Okay. And the signature on the bankruptcy document that she just filed looks like this. And so let's just pay attention to this part for a second, this O, okay? And the O and the loop in the O are the same. I will say the slight difference in this document versus this one is that this document, the affidavit, has been printed and scanned into a system, clearly, like uploaded, because that's the way it would work. And we're going to see some variances due to that, like this little bit of a wiggle here, right? But I mean, if we just look at the way this is trailing off, okay? These are the same signature. They're trailing off the same way, in my opinion. And so, yes, a lot of times people will sign their signatures the same way. Like you'll sign it, but there still are variances, right? Like it would be very, very difficult to get that close. I hear you guys talking about, or see you guys talking about puppets, and I'm all about it. It would be very difficult to get that close if we were trying to repeat a signature. Like even people repeating their own signature would have a hard time doing that. I totally lost the page I was on, so bear with me while I try to go back to it. Doesn't it? 1 second. Copy. Paste. Here we go. Okay, now we're going to go back to sharing. Okay, so we talk about how her cart costs were paid for again. I mean, we didn't even get into the horse show. Like there are things that here's the thing. Again, I think the entire hearing and line of questioning was intentional. I think it was to give her a chance to make corrections, and that was stated at the end. And she was told that she will be deposed. I think the deposition that she kept bringing up, I think it's basically the same thing as the 2004 exam, the 2004 exam. I don't know how it's pronounced in the industry, but like in my industry, a 1003 is a mortgage application. I don't know if it's the same thing with bankruptcy, if you call it a 2004 or not, or a 2004, whatever. Anyway, that hearing is like a very detailed exam. It is not open to the public. We won't get to see this. However, they go into real detail. So there are things I'm sure that were not asked that will be asked, and we'll just have to see how it shakes out, right? She was asked about Quartet again. She asked if there were any assets that Quartet had, because Laura tried to play it off like they weren't operating. She said, I think 2 horses, maybe 1. I don't know. She claimed it was over 20 years old. Not true. She asked how many horses. Well, she asked where they were, where the one was. It was 1. And she said in Wellington, Florida. And Jennifer asked Laura who owns that property. Laura claimed not to know. We know. But and Laura knows. But anyway, she asked about she said they were on a care lease. I think one of the horses was basically like you get to do whatever you want with this horse and you agree to stable it. And I know I'm botching that for the people that are in the horse world. I'm so sorry, but that's my understanding of it. Anyway, she asked how many Any other assets? Laura said tack and apparel, and also old horses. Yeah. She said that she asked how many horses, and this was funny to me because Laura like skipped a beat for a minute and like she was thinking about it and said, 7. And I'm recalling, although I did not read it in depth because I refused to, I did watch, some coverage of it, a statement that Laura recently made about those horses and what they meant to her. And that was interesting to me that we couldn't even like immediately recall. Like, it's 7. It was a dramatic pause, thinking 7. Are any of your bills paid? Does Quartet Farms pay any of your bills? Or any of your bills paid out of the Quartet Farms account? Laura says no. This was when Terry Dake took over, I think. Yeah, because Marcus was asked if he had any questions, and he said no, but he wants to attend the that 2004 exam, or the 2004, whatever you call it. I'm going to have to find out because it's going to bug me if I don't know how to say it right. But anyway, and then that's when Terry came in and asked about Quartet horses, asked about tack, and of course, Laura claims that there's hardly anything. It's just bare bones over there at Quartet Farms. I mean, like, for example, even the stuff, like we've seen pictures posted on social media, the jumps, right? Like the property things, those have value. Anyway, Laura was also asked about if she had any other bank accounts. Anyway, so yeah, then like wrapping it up, it was reiterated that there would be an in-depth deposition at the Department of Justice building at Jennifer's office, and that she would work directly with Laura to schedule that meeting, and that she would give her time to make sure that she had everything that she needed to corrected. I don't disagree with this. So Tootsie's Tidbits, I love that. The way they commingle, most everything likely comes out of QF account. Yeah. So in Ron and Jan's bankruptcy, we saw a Lizmax credit card that was over $27,000, I think. There were 2 other credit cards that were business credit cards, but I don't think they specified which business they were a part of. I can't remember. It's been a minute. So there's just all this, like I said, it's like this shell game, right? Where we're like, put this there, put that there. Wait, it benefits us to have all of it over here for a minute. Listen, that stuff happens in high earning families. So my first job was at a title company, my first real job. I shouldn't say real. My first full-time job, I guess, was at a title company. And I've been doing this since 1897. But the owners, I remember this. They were wealthy, although not everybody goes into title to be wealthy. But anyway, their 2 adult children were in college, and they had them on the payroll. And so there's a way to do that. Again, this is just my layman's observation of it. But there's a way to do that and pay, like you can pay your children a certain amount of money and manipulate that on your taxes. Basically, that's the bottom line of it. But so that's kind of funny to me that Laura says she never even earned a W-2 or a 1099, because if these people were wealthy, that's how they would have handled it. Like that. It's weird. So anyway, I'm gonna go back to oh, sorry. Yeah. Here, Laura loves depositions, Bruce said. 2 BOA cards, one 29,000, one with 9,000. And yes, I believe both of those were business cards. So the question is, does Queen Jennifer have any oversight in parents dismiss bankruptcy to compare lies? I think Queen Jennifer can do whatever the fuck she wants, honestly. I don't know why they wouldn't look at Ron and Jan's bankruptcy case and the information that was provided in Ron and Jan's bankruptcy case to reconcile the answers that, or even the information that Laura provided, number one, and the answers that she gave in this meeting of creditors, and even her first meeting of creditors, right? Um, she, she, you can't, I don't even know, like, it's just, it's so insane. It's so insane. So hold on, I saw a quote. Where'd it go? Oh my gosh. Sour Doreen says she's the queen. She has the power. Laura should be scared, very scared. I don't disagree with that. I mean, you're in the big leagues now. Like this is, this is the big dance. You can't you can't play these games here, right? You can't play games in these in this arena and not expect to be challenged on it. So Debbie Bay Area 1 says Laura still hasn't changed her LinkedIn. Doesn't surprise me at all. I don't know. It doesn't surprise me. So oops. Yeah, can business credit cards pay the daughter's healthcare bills? Sure. I mean, you can pay however you want, but you have to disclose and report it the right way, right? Like I said, there's trouble here in the way these questions are answered. There's trouble here on both fronts, for Laura and for Ron and Jan, because what you're implicating in some of these questions, or answers to these questions, is that Ron and Jan are committing tax fraud at a minimum, but they also kind of committed bankruptcy fraud because they didn't answer their questions in a way that comports with the way Laura answered hers. They didn't disclose, I should say. Yeah. And so Auntie M says, what I can't believe is people that are rich don't have an accountant, set up the business as hobbies to offset any losses against the $21,000 a month retirement, file taxes, etc. Right? Like there are legitimate ways to make all of this add up. I called it, like I said, almost 2 years ago, that the fact that there was no trust, there's no trust, trust in the form of a document. There was no entity of a trust, and that is a red flag that these people are just privileged and not wealthy, and there is a difference. The question is, can they look at what's on the credit cards to see if they just used it to live off of, not just business expenses? I think that's the whole point of the questioning, right? Like, sorry, that was Lula. I think that's the whole point of it, is that if you claim that it was done that way, then you still have to follow the rules, right? Like it's not saying that you can't use the cards to pay certain things, but you also have to report it as income, and you have to apply the appropriate taxes to it. So yeah, it's the whole thing. Like we could what if and what abouts, like so much with all of this stuff. And oh, wait a second. Who said it? Wait a second. There was a comment I wanted to show up. Okay, come on. Sorry guys. The way that the comments show up like on the back end is different than the way they show up like when you're watching a regular YouTube. So I am sorry for not being on it. Basically, oh, here we go. This is the comment. Do the Rico. No. Do the Rico. Yeah. Here, I mean, like, I said it jokingly initially, but I mean, this is an actual possibility now. I don't, just wow. Just wow. Like, there's so much that's intertwined here that you can't help but get everybody in trouble. Like, the fact that they both did this, the fact that they both did it is wild. And unbelievable. I don't have words for it. Like, it's ineffable. I don't have words for it. She thought that that somebody made this comment about Debbie. I've never had any friend deposit a huge amount of money into my checking account to buy a house or anything else. Right? Like, that's not how that works. Number one. So the way she phrased it initially isn't how it works. And if you put up somebody, like, if you use proof of funds that are somebody else's in a real estate transaction, then that person joins in on the purchase agreement, right? Like, that's how that works. Nobody is giving you an entire down payment on a house like that. Like, there's so many different ways it just doesn't add up. But anyway, it's, I had a track and I lost it. Yeah, so Boots says, how this family has never had a financial advisor kills me. They should be well off. Yeah, no, and so somebody had mentioned a while back that the station should have offered one and such. I don't disagree or think that they didn't offer one. I think it's entirely possible that they did, and that it was turned down, right? When you look at how Ron and Jan moved through life financially, going back to San Francisco, and again, let's not even go back to the 90s, just in the early 2000s, right? If you look at how they go back and how they've moved through life, if I had power, influence, and privilege in that area, I wouldn't want anybody pulling the curtain back either. Like, even if you know that person is going to be secretive and not disclose, like, I mean, because a lot of people walking around don't have the money they claim to have. But, like, I wouldn't want the curtain pulled back. I wouldn't want to admit certain things. And there's a little bit of gaming the system that goes on with that, where if you give that up, then I guess I can get off of this. Sorry. If you give that up, your happy fun time ends, so to speak, right? And I want to go back to this. Sorry, guys. I know I keep saying this, but I mean it. So Sour Doreen says she actually shouldn't have filed bankruptcy at all right now. But after she did, all and this went sideways. Plead the fifth, you dummy. Right. She definitely shouldn't have filed. Like, it was I'm not being dramatic. It was the worst possible decision. You could make. And again, at Ron's age, he should be able to have a little net worth, right? Liquid net worth, especially. Like I said, things that stood out to me in, like, Ron and Jan's bankruptcy was that they had zero investment funds. Even Laura has an investment account, small one, but it's there. That was surprising to me, I think. Yeah, there's a pension and that's great, but I don't know. I thought that was interesting. But I don't know. I have so much I could go on and on about. Bruce says, I'm a Fidelity financial advisor and I'm not even Ron Owens. Right. Like, we have a guy too, and if you saw my house, you'd be like, what? But yeah, it blows my mind. It literally blows my mind. Um, I feel like there was other stuff I wanted to say. That meeting was incredible. Um, the trying to think of how to say it. Like, you'll hear it when you hear the audio of it. It is the first time we've seen her. I mean, no disrespect to Deandra, none whatsoever. Amazing badass, right? But at the end of the day, she's still working in a position where she has to remain professional, and she cannot appear as though she's attacking someone, so to speak, right? Because a lot of also what happens in civil court is about appearances. When you get to federal court, it's a whole other ballgame, right? And the absolute badassery like that was effectuated in that call was amazing. Like I said, I'm really not trying to overstate how much I screamed and clapped and cried when I was listening to it, because I heard her be questioned on things that I wished somebody would have questioned her on, and since we've known about them, and it was amazing. So yeah, Robin, no, it will not be made public. It is not a public hearing. It is not, number one, it's not broadcast. It's done in person, and it is possibly recorded for the record, but it's not published. I said published. And yeah, badass lady lawyers are the best. There was a judge in Wyandotte that I watch. And today she had a hearing, and the lady was saying that the defendant, she was doing an arraignment, and the defendant was, she was asking the defendant about having a job, and she said, I basically over the last 10 years, I've done a lot of side jobs. And the judge says, what do you mean side jobs? And the lady repeats, side jobs, basically, under the table stuff. And the judge said, well, you have to have a first job to have a side job. Like, otherwise your side jobs are just your job. And I love the way lady lawyers and lady judges, although I do love some of my male judges, but I love the way they cut through the shit, right? Like we saw, Gil Ketsis do, and Mata. It's kind of amazing to watch that go down. And yeah, so here's the thing. I said, Texas randomly. Sorry, I'm read on me. Sorry. Oh my God. Wow. Yeah, my brain's not functioning. Jennifer shook the boots right off me. Yeah. So I said, like, I wouldn't want to run into Jennifer in a dark alley, because woo, she is brutal. And I thoroughly enjoyed watching her ask Laura all those questions. And it was also surprising to me that Laura didn't have anything to write notes on. Seems like that would be, I mean, dude, I'm sitting here with a notepad. I didn't write anything on it, but I had intentions to. But you always have a notepad when you're about to be a part. Yeah, it was DeSantos. Yeah, Jamal. It was DeSanto, and it was beautiful. Judge DeSanto out of Wyandotte in Michigan. It's a great judge. She's a little hard to listen to because she definitely has like that kind of voice. I sympathize with that. But she's badass, man, sometimes. She works in a county, Wayne County, Michigan, that is very difficult county to work in that, a lot of people get frustrated with her because I won't get too far off track, I promise, but a lot of people get frustrated with her because she won't necessarily, like when somebody's up in front of her to revoke their probation, she gives them additional chances. And the reality of that is that Wayne County Jail is always over full. Like, there's always too many prisoners sitting in Wayne County Jail. And so when you put somebody in Wayne County Jail, you have to need it. So yeah, she unfortunately, that is the reality of being a judge in Wayne County. Batty McFace, first of all, awesome name. I was thinking of her, Judge Boyd. Judge Boyd is my queen as well. Like, I love Judge Boyd so much. So yeah, Judge Boyd is amazing. Oh yeah, so yeah, Judge DeSanto's courtroom audio is terrible. And the other problem is that also the Wayne County Jail is in a new facility now. And when they created these Zoom rooms in the Wayne County Jail, they did not buffer the wall, so it's just a cement block that these prisoners are sitting in, or not prisoners, but detainees are sitting in, that echoes like nobody's business, and it's very hard to hear them. So yeah, I really wish she'd get somebody on helping with that, number one at the jail, and then also in general. But yeah, sorry, I got way off track, guys, but that's my little fandom about judges. My favorite male judge, if anybody is wondering, is Judge Gauthier. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. I think people might say Gauthier or something, but he's out of Sheboygan and Presque County in it's one circuit court, but it's two counties up in northern Michigan, and that man is awesome. So yeah, let's see. I'm just trying to, yeah. So Cat Lady says, remember after June 10th when we weren't even sure if she would catch charges, and now we're watching her get interrogated by a U.S. trustee lawyer. Yeah, Department of Justice. I love that, that, and I think maybe, I won't say who, somebody in the call got excited, as we all did, but they were not muted, when Department of Justice was emphasized in the call, that's where her deposition was going to be, was there. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen anything come yet. I don't know what's going on. I haven't seen anything come across yet, as far as it being publicized. I think it was Sour Doreen who said she felt pretty strongly, and I don't disagree, that they are probably trying to work on a modification. And those do tend to take a little bit. So, I mean, I don't know that they'll be approved for it, but they might be trying to work on a loan modification to be able to keep the house. I don't think it's a great idea at all. But I think it might be a beat before we see that come through. And we have to remember, it does feel like it was a while ago, but it wasn't too long ago that the bankruptcy just got released. So, or discharged, or dismissed. So there's some timing that goes into that as well. So Patrick asks, Tiff, why was the trustee seemingly so passive? I could not imagine him getting as pointed as Jennifer, but like, isn't that his job? And my thoughts. So my thought on that is that, and again, I'm not a lawyer, but I believe that the way Mr. Dake and Miss Giaimo came in were as being hired by the trustee. So basically, I believe that he lets them do their thing, right? He hired them to do that job that they did that day. I think what happened is, Mr. Dake came in initially and went, oh, okay, this is a job for Jennifer. And then Jennifer comes in and really, does what she's probably good at in the industry. I don't know. I'm just making assumptions here. So that's why I believe that he was not as active in questioning. He just stuck to what he does and what he is, his role is basically. And he let the professionals that he hired do what they're good at. And I have the fact that he did that, right? So I don't want to discount Eric Haley, because the fact that he did hire them is also a big deal, because like, it starts the ball rolling, right? The my words are gonna it's a critical role, right? So we see some cases that probably go through, and I'm sure Sourdering can attest to this, not officially, maybe by PDF signature, that then we see cases that get through that probably shouldn't get through, right? Because people aren't always on alert. And what we saw with Mr. Haley was that he was paying attention. He was hearing what was being said, and he, set the fire alarms off. So Petra said, I agree. I think he went from having two hats, trustee and government official, to only wearing one hat as a trustee and stuck to managing the estate. Bingo. You said it way better than I did. That's exactly right. That's my thoughts as well. And I saw one other comment that I wanted to, where'd it go? Sorry. I don't know. I lost it. But somebody said that oh, there it is. Hellville. I've been refreshing Tiff on YouTube religiously for a while. Yeah, sorry guys. First of all, I got so super sick over the holidays, like grossly sick. And that happens to me a lot. And it did this time as well. During the holidays, I do too much and then I get sick. And so, and then, like I said, I had some, basically, yeah, I had some stuff going on, and kind of took up my time. But I am looking forward to being on a lot more. Oh my God, there's so much to talk about. I can't even. It's crazy. Oh, and so here's the thing. Yes, please. I have the views. So like the way YouTube algorithm works is not algorithm. The way the monetization calculation goes is that you have to have so many hours of views. And I've had those for a while, because I'm sorry, I kept you guys for a long time on a lot of videos, but the subs are the next thing I have to tackle. Is you have to have at least 1,000. And let's see, I saw some people were, I have 816 tonight. So I've got some new ones, but so I've got to get to 1,000 to be able to turn in the request to get on the monetization track. And I think I can sign up for what do you call it? Like to do super chats or whatever. But I'd rather just do it all at once and not have to do 2 steps. So that's kind of my plan. And then Patrick, more people watching. Tiff and the lying liar lies. That's what I've been saying. I almost named. I couldn't think. I was like, my brain was not firing today. I couldn't think of a name for the video, and I so wanted to name it "The Lying Liar Who Lies," because, guys, the way she tried to lie on every answer was nothing we haven't seen from her. But what we haven't seen is somebody not let it go and force her into an answer, like I said, because you can't get it wrong. You just have to tell the truth. So it's simple. It's pretty simple. At this point, if you've had zero income for the last 3 years, JFC didn't do anything to you, girl. It's yeah, that's the other thing. So Hopeful says, but Tiff, it wasn't forced if she pled the fifth. Right. So I don't know why that wasn't done. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. I do know. So we see this, and again, I'm not a psychologist either, but I do watch a lot of true crime. What's that? I did eat at a Holiday Inn or stayed at a Holiday Inn last night. She they're narcissists. We see this from narcissists where they truly believe that if they just say it the right way, that they can get you to believe it. And sorry, Patty McBat faces, but one of her LLCs was just about to take off. Everyone would be wearing horseshoe shirts if not for GFC. First of all, I think that if the horseshoe shirts were back on the market, then we might be buying them. That's what I think. So I don't know. I could be wrong. Somebody put me in a Oh, sorry. I'm good. I'm online. Sorry. My husband texting me. Okay. I think we might, but I don't know. I'm trying to have too many thoughts at once. Yeah, they have been manipulating people. So Tax Packet says they have been manipulating people for so long that they believe they can manipulate everyone they come in contact with. And I do think that's a family trait. I absolutely believe that is a family trait. And it is something that they are programmed to do. I'm not saying they can't stop it, but I think it's part of their DNA. And Cat Lady Ballerina says, I feel like GFC would make the horseshoe tits shirt site profitable. I don't disagree with that. I as much as I don't encourage people to give them any kind of money, but I also do think that people would do it out of people will watch a train wreck, right? Like so and sometimes they'll pay admission. Yeah, I might consider it. Somebody, I think it was Sourdough Rain, put my little image in it and put a t-shirt, a horseshoe tits shirt on it today. It's pretty funny. Anyway, I will waste cash on that ones for a horseshoe tits shirt. Yes, exactly. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry. Goosebumps said I agree, Tiff. So yeah, anyway, like I said, I don't want to keep anybody any longer because I've already kept you too long and you've hung in, and I appreciate that. The sheer insanity. Let's see what Bruce says. Jan certainly has convinced me that Greg hacked a dozen bottles of baby oil from P. Diddy in order to cover up the Yoko Beach murders with baby oil and hacking damage and hacking things. Oh, ransacking. We forgot about the ransack. Oh, guys, I want to talk about that investigative report. Like, I have so much I want to talk about. Like, because that was wild. I think Jan's, out of all the wild things, that was the wildest. Because, girl, what? Or, ma'am, please. being entirely serious. That's insane. Sorry. I can't. Okay. So anyway, yeah. I I I just I don't know. I don't know. It was just wild. It just so wild. I'm sorry. Those like I okay. I feel like there's so many words that I repeat, but I mean, what other words are there for it? Like the gift that I keep sharing, the this that's not how any of this works because that's their entire life. That's not how any of this works. You have walked through life in a way that few people get to walk through life, right? Like, I never lose sight of the fact that we have good insurance. I have good insurance because of my husband. I don't lose sight of that at all. Not one single second. Because what happened to my leg 10 months ago could have devastated us. And I don't take that for granted at all. I think that they believe they are entitled to it, to everything that they do and have, so to speak. Because Ron was on the radio. I don't. There are really tough jobs in this world. And I'm not saying radio show host isn't one, but there are really tough jobs in this world. And people who work those jobs are or behave less entitled than these jerks. That's my opinion. I will say one night I have it bookmarked even on my favorites. I want to talk about library cards. And I'm sure I might have to tease you guys and throw in some Owen stuff just to keep you around for it. But I think that the importance of utilizing a library card and the things that you get out of it are important. I mean, again, it's not just books and it's not just audiobooks and magazines and all that kind of stuff. It's also like our library, you get like discounts to stuff in, they call them a Michigan Activity Pass. Like you get sometimes even free admission to like stuff, zoo, whatever. Things that you would do family-wise or even just by yourself. Like there's a lot of good benefits that come out of it. And I believe, as far as my property taxes go, that my library card is the most bang for my buck. My property tax buck. 100, like absolutely. I will vote yes on a library millage every time because we get so much out of it. And I want people to just know that for a minute and maybe look and consider getting one. I have like 16 library groups because the way it works is you get like a library card at your local library, but your local library is more often than not attached to a group of libraries. So there might be like a dozen libraries that you can go into at any time, because they're local to your area, and hand in your library card and you have access to their whole library. But that also works digitally. So like those are all part of your group when you have your library card and you put it in. The Libby app is the one it's used for. You can also, like for me, I have 15 additional library groups that I get to attach inside of my digital library that I have access to. And like, so I have Northern Michigan, Western Michigan. I have the whole state of libraries available to me. And that's pretty cool because some of them allow you to have like 20 books at a time. My library only allows 6. It's pretty cool. So there's like I said, don't even get me started with the magazines and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, sorry. I knew I'd be losing people soon on this topic. But I appreciate everybody, hanging out and talking again about this. I do want to like do another stream with every, well, the gang, so to speak. I wanted to just do this one tonight because I didn't have quite a great plan for it, and I didn't want to put that on anybody else to keep my focus going. But yeah, so Goosebumps says, since age 5, I've had a library card everywhere I've lived. Outstanding bang for the buck. And I will admit, I haven't had it as consecutively as I should have. I've gone through periods where my card wasn't active. Again, I think I told you guys that our local library makes you renew it every 3 years. So I've been bad at renewing it sometimes. I always fall back into it, and more so now than ever, because there's just so much you can get out of it. Like I said, even just the magazines alone, because I like magazines. I'm sorry, I'm just dumb. But yeah, and yeah, sorry. Okay, so anyway, we will talk more. I may try to go on tomorrow night. We'll see. But I don't really want to go to yeah, we have to renew ours. So I live in this town that likes to, I don't know, they feel like they're kind of a big deal. They're not, but they like to pretend like they are. And the they required every 3 years. I thought maybe it should be every 4 years, but I mean, I kind of get it. It gets people to go into the library. And I do like when I go into the library, because I just looked at when I did renew it, I went in and I looked at some of the DVDs they had, because there are some movies that like we want to watch, but they're not on any of the streaming services. But guess what? The library has them. So I actually have 2 that I'm going into the library tomorrow to check out. And so Debbie says, I buy books on Amazon. I know I could get them from the local library on a wait list. Yeah, and also, if you're really in the Bay Area, I bet your library access is huge. But the other thing is, I don't think people know, and again, I can go do a whole stream about it, but that you can have your library books through the Libby app put on your Kindle, so you can read it on your Kindle. A lot of people do that if that's what they're used to. You can have it delivered on your Kindle, and that's how you can read it. So, and some people actually trick it that way. So like, because they want to keep a book longer than it's allowed to be kept, that you can like check it out, put it on your Kindle, turn your Kindle off of Wi-Fi, and keep the book for a little longer, so you have time to go through it than normally you might be given. And then as soon as you want to return it, it goes back. But it doesn't, from my understanding, when you do that, it doesn't hiccup the next person getting it in line. So yeah, it's pretty it's pretty cool, the different, like I said, things that you can get through your library. Prescription. It's time to stop, Tiff. Because it's not a prescription. Wow. I don't really have a lot of room to joke about Laura now. Okay. Anyway, oh, and the cool things for the littles. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, so many cool things. It's amazing. Yeah. And so it's funny because Debbie says that would be better, but I do like physical book in my hands better. Yeah, I do. I go back and forth. I like both. Sometimes my eyes don't work so well, so I do like to listen. But it's nice. It's nice to also hold a book and read it and touch it and smell it and all those kinds of things. Yes, I'm weird. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But yeah. Okay, guys. I appreciate you being here, and I will try, like I said, to get back on. Maybe not tomorrow night, but I do want to make it more consistent again, and I do want to cover some of the big things that have happened. I just want to have a few more I don't know, a better plan, I guess. Um, not a better plan, a plan. Like I want to go over things and have a, specific, um, whatever. Yeah, those are my words today. Wow. Okay, so anyway, get a library card and I will see you guys soon. How about that? Thank you. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, let's try that again. And get a library card. See you soon. Thank you.